Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nasty Addiction Garage. My name is Jeremy. This is our 92 Toyota MR2, 5th Gen 3S GTE build. So where we last left off, what we did was we did a lot of things like moldings, trunk carpet. We tried to fit the lights up and mock everything up to make it look a little bit more complete, a little bit more presentable. This time around, this is going to be a part 3 of our miscellaneous parts install. We did get some more miscellaneous parts. So we got quite a few different things that we're going to be using and needing to make the car a little bit more structured, a little bit more solid, just so then when I do sell the car is complete. On a side note, in the future episode, what we're going to be doing as well is trying to locate a heater core hose leak. So as you guys know, in the previous episodes, I did do a whole episode on the heater core hose and how I had to take it in and get it brazed and stuff like that. So guess what? We still have a leak. I just have to locate where that leak is at, and then we will attack that most likely in the next upcoming episode. So today it's going to be a brief episode. We're just going to put some things together. We're going to fill it with coolant just so that we can locate where this leak is at. We're going to add the radio brackets because I did get some OEM radio brackets for that radio. If you guys noticed from the radio install episode, the radio is one of those slim radios, doesn't have that big boxy back end. So I'm hoping that these brackets work with this radio. Apparently the radio works with the normal settings as far as like where the screws go on each side. So hopefully it does work. We'll get into that today. But enough talking, guys. Let's get to it. Alright guys, here goes some of the miscellaneous parts that I do have left to install. These here are all the, I bought I think 25 of these screws for the windows. I just like to have them. They're usually the screws that go here. So usually I think it's 6, it's one here, or these are nuts, I'm sorry. There's a bolt that comes out this way, a bolt that comes out this way, and a bolt that goes in through here. That need nuts at the end of them. So that's what these nuts are for. I bought 25 of them. I just like having enough in case I need. This is the MR2 nameplate that goes on the back of the kooky taillights, like the center panel. This is the rubber gasket. Got this in. This is the rubber gasket that belongs literally on here. That goes on here, right around here, to stop actually any leaking of any oil or anything like that. It keeps it nice and airtight. Right here, I do have the plastic pieces that go around the manual. Let's see, the manual door window raiser. So it basically is this piece. So once the door card is on, there's this piece that goes on it, and then you put the handle on there, and then the handle allows you to move it around without scratching up the actual door card. That's what this thing does. So it allows it to move around and move freely without having to worry about scratches and stuff like that. So that's why I got these. I got enough of these because not only is this car manual, but also the V6 is also a manual, windows and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd get them because I'm gonna need them eventually when I do the V6 build on my gray car, which that will be soon, guys. So stay tuned. And here goes the radio brackets. So these are the radio brackets that I am going to. Let me open this up again. That I'm going to replace for the actual. So for the actual radio, as you guys can see. It kind of sucks. As you guys can see, this is just probably not the best setting, I guess. I mean, this is kind of like one of these things where it's like you can see everything and it's just not, it's not in there. It's not right. So I will start off with this. We're going to remove this bezel, remove the radio, and we're going to install those brackets on this radio and see if it'll fit right. I want it to be at least touching the edge or at least up front, just so then when I touch it, you see the way it kind of just moves. This is just not at all. Look at that. Just not at all right. So hopefully we can get this done, and hopefully those brackets work well enough, and we'll go from there, guys. So let's go. Alright guys, so here we go. Got the radio out, whole bunch of plugs and stuff like that, but they were easy to take off. As you guys can see, these brackets are complete crap. Like, I try to modify them, and it's just, they're universal brackets and just real garbage. So I'm not very fond of them. So I did get these guys, so we are gonna put these in. They do have a left, as you can see, and a right. So what I'm going to be doing is attaching them like so, and hopefully everything works well. I'm going to see which brackets belong on which side. I know this is left and then this would be right, but I want to try to adjust them and put them on right. So at the same time, since I do have it out, and we do have an output for it, I believe this is a video output. Then we have a, right here is a backup camera, so I will be attaching the backup camera here, just so then we can have a backup camera. I had an extra one, so this is the extra one. I just put a piece of tape to cover it just so it doesn't ruin the lens at all. Also, we have here the actual plug that connects to there, so we will be doing that and adding a reverse camera to our radio. So let's go. Alright guys, as you see, the brackets are in, they're on and solid. They're only mounted by one point because that's the only points that the radio actually fits. If you notice that it does have a hole up on top where, I don't know if I can show you, if I bend this hard enough. No, it's not moving, but there's one literally right behind here, but it doesn't fit, but it does fit this one. So I am okay with that as long as it's solid, and it's pretty solid. This thing's not going anywhere. So I did connect the rear view backup camera. Here we go. So we got this in. We got an extremely long cord. We also have the camera here, which I think I'm going to be mounting that camera. I'm going to remove this bumper and probably mount the camera right there. It's a mounting point for the actual lights that go under here. As you can see, they are on, but I'm going to remove this, and I'll drill the hole a little bit bigger and actually connect the camera from there, just because the camera does have a nut on the back of it, which you can see. It does have an open nut here that I can then kind of just screw, like kind of sit it up there and then put the nut on so it tightens it, and it'll keep not only the camera in place, but it'll also keep the actual lights in place as well. So let's get to reinstalling this. Alright guys, as you can see, this still is not fitting appropriately. So what I think I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to adjust the height of the actual bracket on the actual radio itself. I think I can go a little lower depending on how far it is, but there's a huge gap. It's on there, like in the bracket, which is pretty good. It's kind of hard to see when the sun is facing me, but you can kind of tell that the brackets are on there, and on there pretty well. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. So the brackets are on there, and they do fit, but I'm gonna see if I can lower it. As you can see, I could maneuver the radio a little bit. So let's see if I can drop the radio a little bit and install it from the top. Let's go. Alright guys, as you guys seen, literally this does not fit still. It's ever so slightly a small amount on each end, more so the top than the bottom, but literally if I just shave a little bit here, kind of just enough to allow the radio to fit up more appropriately. If I push this up and then kind of push this in, as you see, it fits perfect from the bottom, but the top still doesn't have enough room to fit up there. So what I'm going to do is just maybe a millimeter of shaving should make this fit perfectly and sit OEM. So let's try this out. As you guys can see, I did shave down some, nothing too crazy, but maybe a millimeter, and I kind of shaved back this rear lip just enough to allow the actual radial maybe just to sit flush against it if I didn't cut enough, so then I can have enough space just to actually push this bezel in and allow it to clip. So let's try it really quickly to see if it actually fits, and we'll go from there. Guys, another test fit. As you see, we're still not yet fitting appropriately. So what I'm gonna have to do is shave down a little bit more of the top here to go across, and we might fit. So I'm gonna continue shaving, see what happens, and go from there, guys. So let's go. Alright, shave some more down. Let's see if that actually works, and we'll go from there, guys. Alright guys, as you can see, it's still not fitting appropriately. So I'm going to have to shave off more off the top. I don't think very much more because the bottom now fits perfectly fine. I just have to adjust it, but it fits perfectly fine. But the top is still giving me a headache. So we have just a little bit more to shave. I don't know if you can kind of tell now that it set itself in focus, but there's not very much I have to shave left. So I'm going to try this one more time I'm gonna just shave a little more than what I normally would, just to allow me to fit it appropriately. So guys, let's try this one last time. Hey everybody, as you can see, we got it in. It looks really good now. Now it's in the position that it should be. I don't know if you could really tell. The glare from the sun is actually ruining how I record here, but it's on. All I did was Dremel the opening up a little bit more, just so then that the screen can fit. It is a 7-inch screen, but I don't know why it just didn't fit. But it fit good now, and I can touch it without it moving, which is phenomenal. I know you guys are noticing that this is probably missing. I did throw them down there. They are garbage now, just because the fact is that this vent here was falling apart. It came like that. I do have another set of vents that I will replace them with, so these vents will be on shortly, but I just wanted to kind of test fit everything to make sure that it fit well. I'm going to turn the key now to make sure I can push on the radio without it actually moving or anything like that, guys. So let's go. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and try to turn the key and see if the radio moves. So it doesn't at all move. This is great. This is awesome. Look at, I can hit anything and it works perfectly fine. So this is the objective here. So finally we got this done. Let's see if I can put on Google Maps. Looks good, guys. So I mean, I could touch everything without it even trying to move, so this is perfect. I can actually touch it, go back. Look at this. This is perfect, guys. This works amazing. So it works. It's pretty quick too. This radio, so it works great. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of leave this unattached, since we already have to already prep for removing the gas tank again, so then we can get to those heater core hoses. So now that this is on and working well, I am totally okay with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, and let's get moving to the rest of the parts. Alright guys, so next what we're gonna be doing is actually installing the rubber grommet, or the rubber, I guess it's almost like a spacer or like a sealer, like a seal for the oil cap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this oil cap down really quick, apply this to the oil cap, and then it goes directly back on to the valve cover, and we'll go from there. After that, we're going to start working on filling it with coolant and go from there, guys. So let's go. Alright guys, so I tried to fit this grommet on here, but it does not fit. So I literally tried it. As you can see, it goes on there, and according to the parts catalog, there is a spacer, like a grommet, that belongs in between here for the Caldina. Obviously not, because this one doesn't fit unless I got the wrong part, because this is quite thick. There's not enough thread on the actual cap to totally seal the valve cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this, keep it to the side, and then save it. So I'm going to take out the grommet, remove it, put the cap back on, and we're going to move on to the coolants. So let's go. Alright guys, as you see, I filled it up with some water here. Got some distilled water in here, hoping to then drain whatever has been in there, which I did before, which should be some regular Toyota coolant, which was brand new. But I'm going to now loosen this up here and start bleeding it from up here, guys. So let's go. Alright guys, as you can see, I got a bucket in here. I got the hose that is attached to the actual bleeder itself. What I've been doing is opening it with a screwdriver to allow any water flow to go through and into this bucket. So the good thing is, at this point, I'm gonna go check back here to see where our water level is. And our water level is up here, so that's good. I'm gonna add a bit more. Just so that we have enough to cycle the whole thing out. I'm gonna turn on the car. And we'll go from there, guys. So let's go. All right, guys, as you see, we are bubbling, so that's good. We're releasing as much air as possible, so that's a good thing. Turn these on to make sure we don't overheat. We're gonna look up front here to see if we have any water. Here we go. We got some water coming through, guys. So I'm gonna open this up here. See if we can allow some water to come through. Are we dripping? We might be dripping. We got some movement, guys. We got some movement. You see this? Gonna allow as much water as possible to drain out. So here we go. Here we go. We got some water. We got some water, guys. We got some water, I think. Yep. Let's check it out. We got some flow. We got some flow. This is perfect. So as long as we got some good flow going on, we should be pretty good. We got a little bit of drips coming out. All I want to make sure is that we get all the air out of the system. So we're gonna keep an eye on our temp gauge and go from there. All right, guys, we're still bubbling here. It looks like we're reaching temperature real soon. I'm hoping that we don't overheat. I still have this up here open to allow any air to escape, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of air here and there, so that's a good thing. Still got to keep an eye on our temperature gauge just to make sure. But it looks like we're doing good so far, guys. guys, as you guys seen, I did fill it with coolant. I bled it all out, and so far so good. I was looking underneath, and I don't see any leaking. This was from it overflowing at the actual water neck, but this is where the heater core lines kind of stop up top, where that, I guess, break or hole or whatever it is, crack, was at before. After they brazed it, it did leak for a little bit, and I don't know if it was leaking from the actual site itself or what, but it was leaking prior to. I don't see any leaks right now. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that stays this way, because at that point then I don't need to take down the tank and do all that non-fun stuff again. So let's see. I'm gonna give it a whirl, and we'll see what goes on. Hey everybody, that's going to conclude today's episode. First and foremost, I do want to thank all my subscribers. You guys have been great. Thank you, and thank you again. So we did a couple things. We just did a couple things today. We bled the coolant, which I still think there's air in it. I'm not fully convinced that it's fully bled. I didn't even have the car in the air like that. So I'm going to have to lift the car in the air, do it appropriately. But what I want to do is start focusing on everything else. I didn't find any leaks. So that heater core hose, I don't know if it was, residual that was falling or leaking or dropping at that point, but I have not found a leak. The guy did say it held pressure, which I'm happy, and I hope it does, because at this point, I don't know what to do other than remove it. So that was gonna be the next big step. So basically what I'm doing now is waiting on the rest of the parts to finish getting painted. We'll start putting on seals, door weather stripping, windows and stuff like that, and go from there, guys. But for the most part, we're almost done, guys. So my name is Jeremy. This is our Toyota MR2 project car, and this is Nasty Addiction, guys. So you already know, we build differently. Peace until next time, guys.